What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Dakar Desert Rally, and in this video I wanted to go over what I think is probably one of my favorite classes to use in the game right now. So I would say a lot of players are probably not big fans of the bikes, to be honest, but for some odd reason I've been really enjoying these a lot. I would say compared to everything else, they're probably one of the overall fastest classes in the game, at least when it comes to overall speed and like the way they can climb stuff. They really don't struggle like the trucks might, or even the ATVs. I also find them to be a little bit better with handling now after that recent patch as well, which, to be honest, I was having a really good time with the bikes even before the 1.004 patch, but I would say after that it's probably going to make them even better. So if you guys have not been using the bikes, I highly recommend trying them out. So for me, I'm normally running the KTM 450 Rally. I'm also a huge fan of KTM in real life. I also really like Husqvarna, which I probably mispronounced that, but I really do like KTMs a lot, and that's pretty much the only bike I have ran. I would say the Honda, the Yamahas, they're all going to be really fun to use, but the overall handling on the KTM I would say is probably going to be top tier. After the 1.004 patch, I'm finding myself not spinning out as often with the bike, not nearly as much, especially at high speeds. Before the patch, I would go around turns and all that, and I'd pretty much spin out, and or if you basically turned a little bit, the bike would always oversteer, and it would honestly be pretty annoying, but it looks like it's not doing that as much, which I would say is going to make them a lot more fun. I know a lot of players are probably not the happiest with the way the vehicles handle in Dakar in general, because sometimes it could honestly be pretty weird to use. You pretty much oversteer just a little bit, and there's really no turning back after that. But after this, I would say the bikes are going to be a little bit better. Even if you guys wanted to try out the ATVs again, I also did find those to be a little bit better as well. They could still probably be improved in some ways. I'm not going to lie on that, because sometimes the way the vehicles handle in this game definitely makes you scratch your head just a little bit. I've spun out sometimes. I'm like, what in the world? Like, how did I even spin out? You barely turn a little bit around that one area. You go around one turn a little bit too sharp, and you're pretty much doomed, aka ready to do a 360. And depending on where the AI might be, you're probably going to be really messed up as well, because they might run right into you, or if you guys are trying to jump into the end of the checkpoint at the end of a race. I've also spun out at the end before and did end up getting passed by one of the AI, which is kind of hilarious but also really unfortunate. So I would say the bikes are definitely going to be a lot better now, and they are without a doubt in my mind definitely going to be a lot more fun as well. But if you guys haven't tried the bikes out recently, I would recommend jumping on after the patch to try them out. I would say in the future they're probably going to get tweaked again. I think we can all agree many of the vehicles on Dakar do need some type of tweaking even after the patches as well. Like, for example, I would say the bikes could probably be updated a little bit more. They definitely are a lot better than they were, but I think they could still do a little bit more with them in the future to make them less like oversteery and stuff, which they definitely have gone better, as I mentioned, but there's probably always going to be some type of room for improvement with the vehicles in this game. Hopefully in the future we're going to see more patches come out with the vehicle physics being fixed and or changed in some way. But at the moment, even without the physics being fixed a bit, I would still say the bikes are 100% going to be my favorite class to use. I basically completed most of the events in the game with those, at least until we have more events drop with this November update that's supposed to be coming, which, by the way, guys, stay tuned for all the future updates as well. I will be going over those and covering that stuff when it does release, which hopefully it's going to be a little bit quicker. I really don't hope the patches are going to come out like 2 weeks for one platform and then 2 weeks later on that one. I feel like it's probably going to be pretty annoying if that was the case. Let's hope we get patches on time for pretty much every platform. I know a lot of players really do love the car, including myself, and I really do want this game to succeed. I'm really not trying to aim videos at being negative toward the game, because I really do like it. There's obviously some things that do need to be fixed with it, which I think they are working on, which probably might take some time. Hopefully in the next few months I would say this game's going to be in a better state. But at least one thing is for sure, that the bikes and the ATVs have definitely improved after the update. So the bikes are going to be a lot of fun now. I personally have pretty much only been using those, but once you complete all the events, it's probably going to be really hard to go back and do some of them, because you really don't get much of anything from it with XP. You might get a little bit of money though, even though you could probably buy every vehicle pretty fast in Dakar, which I honestly might make a video about that in the future, because I personally feel like the overall progression on Dakar might be lacking just a little bit. But at least, guys, the patches seem to be fixing the game for the most part. Even after this, though, I hate to say it, I would say a lot of players are most likely going to shelf this game until it's going to be a little bit better. Most likely in 5 or 6 months, I would say Dakar is probably going to be absolutely incredible. But until then, hopefully we can enjoy some more patches coming out, and or, you know, the map expansion adding free mode would be awesome. Basically giving players a lot more stuff to do. It is kind of funny because I was originally aiming this video to be more toward the bikes and how they're my favorite, which they definitely are, but I also jumped into like a rant about how I want the game to be better and or started talking about patches once again, which I do apologize about, but I would say everybody's probably feeling around the same with Dakar at the moment. They probably all want this game to be really good. I would say the patches, as I did mention before, seem to be fixing some stuff. At least the bikes and the ATVs are more manageable now. At least I have noticed that. I personally love using the bikes. If you guys have not tried them in a while, I would recommend jumping on them again. At least all your progress is going to save now. My goodness, I cannot believe how long that took to fix that. Almost a month after the game's release for Xbox. That's a little insane, but at least you guys can now jump on and actually play the game and save your progress. And the ATVs definitely seem to be a lot better as well. You would hit a little bump before and you'd basically crash and or spin out immediately. What are some of the things you'd really like to happen to the car right now to make this game a better overall experience?